Dr. Baden, a forensic pathologist, has laid out a very interesting theory into what happened to these three individuals in Kansas City. And David Harrington's girlfriend gave some really interesting comments. So who's telling the truth here and who's telling a lie? That seems to be the big mystery. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. And if an open conversation is something you prefer, then this is the place for you. Welcome to The Point. So let's talk about it.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
So Dr. Baden, a forensic pathologist, gave a very interesting theory on Fox News this morning. I'll play it for you right now.
It's been released so far that he slept for a long period of time. It may be that all four of them took something that made them pass out. He passed out indoors and slept it off. They passed out in the cold weather and snow, and within an hour, the body temperature would go down from 98 degrees to 80 degrees, and the heart rhythm goes awry.
So his theory is that all four individuals did happen to take something. And when they did, it just so happened that three individuals went outside while Jordan stayed in. And at the moment, whatever it was that they potentially took kicked into effect, Jordan happened to pass out inside, and those three others passed out outside. And as their core temperature dropped, they potentially fell into some type of cardiac arrest. And this does seem believable. That seems like something that could happen. Four people celebrating a victory. By one point, they decide to partake in some type of extracurricular activity, and ultimately it would cause those three individuals to pass. And if Jordan Willis had put out a statement very early on, or his alleged wish attorney had put out that statement, I think a lot of us could believe that. But the problem is they didn't issue that statement for whatever reason, if that is what happened. Law enforcement has said for sure 100% they don't suspect any foul play. David's father has said when the toxicology report comes in, they may rule it as an accidental passing by a substance, and that be that, and they go on their merry way. But so many of these family members are insisting that these people didn't do any substances whatsoever. And one of those people would be Lori, the girlfriend of David. She has very clearly and consistently said that David did not at any point in time use any substances. That wasn't his thing. She said he may have drank, there may have been smoking, but he just didn't do anything like that. But where it gets confusing is she would go on to say in that article that maybe they did take something. Maybe they were drinking, and maybe this was just something that happened by accident. But I know David wouldn't take it. So then what happened to him? If all three of those individuals had passed, what happened to David? That is where the confusion is coming in. They made several other references in the article, and I'll link it down in the description, that they weren't happy about people online speculating of the potential use of substances. And really, look, if it's not true, then it's not true. Everybody is just speculating at the end of the day. But y'all did want more pressure on this story. Y'all did reach out to social media on your various pages bringing this story up. And then once it took hold, a couple of y'all even went on various YouTube channels to give interviews and make statements. And you really just can't have one without the other. Y'all have came out and said that something didn't just sound right. Y'all have came out and said that this story wasn't getting the appropriate attention it is getting. You can thank social media for the attention that it is getting. Now, some of it may be good, some of it may be bad, and some of it may just be out and out wrong. But to say your boyfriend didn't do anything at all, which he may not have, but then he winds up passed away outside along two other bodies, it is weird and it raises a ton of red flags. But somebody within this story is absolutely not telling the truth. Now, in that article, it does go on to say that she has heard of Jordan Willis. But the things she has heard have not been good. She did make the statement that she couldn't tell what was true or what was false, so she wasn't sure what to believe to begin with. But she did say something very interesting in that she says Jordan did use substances. So of all four individuals, David Harrington's girlfriend is saying Jordan did absolutely do substances. And she says the others may have done substances, but her boyfriend David absolutely did not. But here we are with Jordan alive, and those 3 individuals passed away. Of all the theories I've heard on social media and the ones I've brought up here, the idea that these 4 individuals had done something, and while the 3 that went outside passed out outside, and Jordan passed out inside, and that's the reason why he is still alive and those 3 have passed, makes the most sense. What still doesn't make sense is why he didn't notify authorities, if that is what happened. Now, he's still depressed, the family's still in an uproar, but somebody is still absolutely not telling the truth. The one consistent thing that we have gotten out of this story is that law enforcement has said 100% there is no foul play. And if there is no foul play, then fine. Then it was all accidental. It was just a random set of coincidences, right? Well, if they took something, they had to buy it from somebody. And if they bought something from somebody, and that is what caused them to pass away, how is there no foul play? That is where I'm having the rub with what law enforcement's statement is. Somebody did something wrong here. Now, the family wants to know the truth. They're saying these men wouldn't have done any type of substance whatsoever. And they are outright saying Jordan Willis is the primary suspect. He knows something. He's involved in this. The story as a whole has changed so many times that by the time you finish editing a video on it, there's another change and you gotta delete it. This has to be absolutely the most confusing situation I've ever heard of, because everybody's holding their ground to what they have said. But when you put all these stories together, it absolutely does not make any sense whatsoever. If you see any of these things differently, you can let me know down in the comments below. Other than that, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you being here. Y'all stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next one.